when we get to these qawa'id, these bid'ah, we're not going to read the Arabic just for the sake of time. We're just going to go through them quickly. And I'm not going to go through all of them, but just quickly just going to go through these first 2 chapters, before death and after death. We're just going to read them quickly, inshallah ta'ala. And that's what we're going to do for the rest of the classes. We'll just read through these matters just quickly, inshallah ta'ala. So before death, qabl al-maut. And some ikhwan, we're going to listen to some of these things, and many of us, we're going to nastaghrib. We're going to be blown back, by many of these things, because some of them are just completely foolish. And many of them, a person, we wouldn't even think somebody would do some of these things, ikhwan. But we're going to see ajaib and gharaib. But it's important to know, ikhwan, because some of these things, and maybe I'll allude on some of the things that we've seen here, but it's important to know these things because perhaps we may have not seen these things, but perhaps they'll come. Look at the immigration that's coming from the different Muslim lands. Sheikh Albani from Syria, many Syrians have come. People may have brought these bid'ah with them to this land. And many African, many people have come to this land from different places. And they may be holding on some of some things that they may have knew in their land, and that they believe to be a matters of sunnah, but they're not. So inshallah ta'ala, we'll read each of these. And like I said, if it's something that should be touched on a bit more, we'll do it. So number 1, the belief of some people that the shayateen, the devils, come to the dying person in the appearance of their parents, wearing the clothes of a Jew or Christian, so that they can call them to each of those religions in order to misguide them. Now, so look at some of this statement that some people they believe. And Ibn Hajar al-Haythami, Shaykh al-Albani, he mentions in the original work, he mentions in his book Al-Fatawa al-Hadithiyya, quoting as-Suyuti, he said, "Lam yarid dhalik." So he just said, this has never been reported in anything authentic. Number 2, placing the mushaf at the head of the dying person. Placing the mushaf at the head of the dying person. And again, this is important, ikhwan. Again, why is it reading these things important? Because sometimes, again, some people, they yastahsinun things, some people, they believe things are good. They just have the thought that if I do this has to be something good. He's dying, let me just put a mushaf next to his head. Right? Some people just think these matters are matters which have perhaps some virtue or some merit. So it's important to know the likes of these matters, ikhwan. So we see some of these and we know these matters are bid'ah, that we speak about them. We say, listen, you're doing that has no basis. And we have to have courage when it comes to speaking the truth. And when Ibn al-Qayyim, he mentions the asbab and shirah al-sadr, the reasons for expansion of the breast, the reasons for happiness and the keys to happiness. From the matters that Ibn al-Qayyim, he mentions, is a shaja'a, courage. Not only courage in the face of the enemy, because that's praiseworthy as well, but Shaykh Fawzan, he says also courage regarding the haqq. When you see something that's wrong in the religion, you just have to say something. If you know, alhamdulillah, that something's a bid'ah and it's not a greater harm if you say something, you say it. Right? Person just doesn't remain silent. Number 3, instructing the dying person to acknowledge the Prophet and the Imams of Ahlul Bayt. Instructing the dying person to acknowledge the Prophet and the Imams of Ahlul Bayt. This sounds like this bid'ah comes from who? The Shia. Everybody knows the Shia. Nah, so Shaykh Albani, he quotes in the Asl that this is from the books of the Shia. Miftah al-Karama, from the book of the Shia. Number 4, reciting Surah Yasin over the dying person. This already came in the book earlier, in the earlier lessons. Number 5, placing the dying person in the direction of the Qibla. This also came in the book, as we remember early on in the book.